I'm here for Sound on Sound at the Winter NAMM 2014 show with John from Behringer, who's going to tell us about some new USB MIDI controllers. John.
All right, thanks, Will. We have new X-Touch series of controllers from Behringer. There's actually 3 models. So we'll start with the biggest one. This is the X-Touch. We have 9 motorized faders on the X-Touch here. And new feature for us is that we have touch-sensitive motorized faders, so that's really cool. Moving up from there, we have a lot of dedicated buttons on the console, actually over 90 buttons here. Of course, your dedicated buttons for recording, solo, mute, like you'd expect. And then up here, we have our LCD Scribble Strips, which is very familiar from our X32 console. And one of the reasons we've included this is that not only can you use this controller as a Mackie, Huey controller for your DAW, but this can also link into one of your X32 consoles. Maybe you have an X32 rack or core and you want to control that. You can use this for that as well. So we have the Scribble Strips, but those will also work with your DAW. Of course, we have 8 encoders for panning or other functions. And again, as I mentioned, we have a lot of different transport control here, a jog wheel, dedicated play and stop, and even in bars and beats metering right up here on the top. So yeah, very neat. So on the back panel of the unit, we have connectivity, standard USB and MIDI. There's actually also Ethernet, MIDI over Ethernet in this, so you can connect it to a wireless router. That's also how you can interface it with the X32. So USB, MIDI, and Ethernet connectivity on here. And another cool thing about the back panel is that the X-Touch features a USB hub. So if you want to add daisy chain another controller on top of it, you have a USB hub built in right there. So that's the X-Touch. It's going to go for about $599. After that, we move down to the X-Touch Compact. You can see it down here. Very similar design. We still have 9 motorized touch-sensitive faders. We have some dedicated buttons up here that you can assign to your standard record and mute, solo, etc. We still have 8 encoders here. We have some additional encoders here, so it's a total of 16 encoders that you can use. We still have some transport control dedicated on the bottom here. And what's unique about this compared to the X-Touch is that this will also do standard MIDI in addition to the Huey and Mackie control modes, and it's dual layer. So you can be running your DAW on layer A and running lighting or something else on layer B, and just have the layer buttons right here, very simple to move back and forth. And this controller has connectivity for USB and MIDI on the back, and it also features the USB hub. And this is going to go for about $399. Moving down from there, we have a little mini guy here, the X-Touch Mini. This is a bus-powered device, so you can plug this into one of these controllers and it'll power right up, or right directly to a laptop if you're on the go. And this is going to give you 8 encoders and 16 dedicated buttons that you can use for transport. This will also support Mackie, Huey, or standard MIDI, and has dual layers, as well as a 60mm fader here. And again, that's a bus-powered USB device, and that's only going to go for $99.99. So that's the X-Touch series of controllers.
Nice. I also noticed that you've got IEC power on here. You're not sort of dealing with wall warts or anything.
That's another great feature. Yeah, built-in power supplies on the Touch and the Compact. So yeah, plug it right in, standard cable. So.
Great. When are these going to be shipping then, do we think?
We're hoping sometime Q2. So hopefully by this summer we'll be able to get these things out in stores.
That's brilliant. Thanks very much, John.
Thank you.